What are you going for it in your own territory at the 45-yard line? You don't have DeAndre Swift, by the way, who... Hello? Football season's over. It's only week 5.
No, it's not over.
It's over.
Well, it probably is.
But I'm tired of him going to the podium, giving us the same cliche things.
The defense really only gave up 5. Throw that game out. It's a clunker. Bill Belichick, effed Dan Campbell.
It's not good. It was the worst of the season overall as a team, and that falls on me. You can't play that way, and unless your head coach doesn't have them ready. So that's 100% on me.
When the head coach and Maz, I'll give you credit for this because you just said it, looks disheveled. Put the hat on straight. Look like a professional. Don't look like you just got your ass kicked. Seriously, and I mean that. Don't look like you're just all beaten down, beaten to death. Because
it's depressing.
If the team is going to be a product of their head coach, just came in looking like that, Dan Campbell, the team will be moping around like that. Because it sure looks like the season's over by that look.
You know what happened is at the end of the season last year in December, we talked about the Liars as they are. Talk about how they finished the season. Even though the season was over, they wouldn't make the playoffs. All the guys came in. All the guys stayed the course. They got a couple wins in there. They looked okay. You go to the offseason. You get to the Senior Bowl. Fast forward from the Senior Bowl, you get to the draft. We get an A- in the draft because we draft Aiden Hutchinson at 2. We move up to get Jamison Williams. We drop Josh Pascal, Kirby Joseph, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. It's all this momentum. And then you get to Hard Knocks. There's more momentum. So now the Detroit Lions have all this momentum leading into the first game of the season against the Philadelphia Eagles. They only lose by 3. There's more momentum. Then they beat the Washington Commanders. There's more momentum. And then they lose to the Vikings on the road in a game that
they were up 14-0.
And that's when it really turned.
Up by 10 late in the fourth.
Yeah. 10 and 14. So now the momentum is going from this. So now it's starting to go down after that game. Then last week you're playing the Seattle Seahawks. Listen, Russell Wilson's no longer there. It was Geno Smith. And I understand how well he's playing, the accuracy and all that. I don't care. It's Geno Smith. You lose to Geno Smith, you allow the defense to give up 48 points to the Seattle Seahawks. Then the momentum's going down here. Now you got a game in which you're playing against the backup quarterback for the New England Patriots on a team that has no offense, can't score points, and can't figure it out, and you lose 29-0. You know what the Detroit Lions did, Ryan Ermanni, and it's gone? They lost the momentum. And I don't see them getting it back.
And it's because of their head coach. Look, Dan Campbell has lost them the Minnesota Vikings game. He lost them the Seahawks game. And then clearly yesterday, I'm going to play this soundbite for you. He's going to put this on Jared Goff. This is not on Jared Goff. Could Jared Goff be better? Absolutely. Does Jared Goff have to stop turning the football over? Absolutely. But you know what would help Jared Goff as well? Is if you would put your players in a position to win the game. On 4th and 9, at the 32-yard line, you're electing to go for it instead of kicking a 49-yard field goal. You are down 6-3. Or excuse me, you're down 6-0. A field goal cuts it to 6-3. If you don't have a kicker on your sideline that could kick a 49-yard field goal, I'm sorry.
Didn't you tell me there's a
doing
De La Salle kicker right now that can make that field goal?
You can get the De La Salle kicker. Hire him. Get him.
Badgley
Sign him
can
from
kick.
off the team.
Badgley can kick unless he got hurt yesterday, and we don't know it. He's a good kicker.
That is the only excuse.
Don't forget, the Arizona Cardinals blew their game. They missed a 42-yarder. Wait a minute. 2 weeks ago against Minnesota, they don't want to kick the freaking field goal. I mean, you can't. You kick the field goal, and he blows it. Seibert is gone. You got to make the kicks.
That was a terrible decision to kick it anyway.
No, it wasn't a terrible decision. I'll tell you that a million times. He had 3 decisions. Whatever one didn't work, you're going to kill him on.
No, and that was the worst one you could have made, by the way. Punt it or go for it.
I'm going to let you guys do your thing. I'm coming in
Make the kick.
I'm coming in as an innocent bystander, but I have to lobby on the side of you got to attempt the 49-yard field goal. Even if he misses it, we're not having this discussion about Dan Campbell making the right call. We're having a discussion that
Oh,
the
the
kicker
kicker
has to
sucks.
make the kick.
Correct.
But I agree with you. 49-yard field goal. You get paid to be an NFL field goal kicker. You got to attempt that as Dan Campbell. And if he misses it, that's not your fault. But you made the right
The
decision.
kicker had to be hurt. I can't wait to hear from him today.
And no offense, but on the opening drive, I know you want to go for it and all that stuff, but don't you have to read the situation a little bit too? You're playing a third-string rookie quarterback in Bailey Zappi, who's making his first start of his career. Don't you want to pin him deep?
Yeah.
Maybe make him think about it inside his own 20? What are you going for it in your own territory at the 45-yard line? You don't have DeAndre Swift, by the way, who... Hello?
I asked you that before the season.
Can this guy stay healthy?
I asked you,
They
was it worth
They
drafting?
played 5 games this year. I haven't seen him in 2 of the games.
I asked
He
you.
missed 60% of the games. 40% of the games they play already.
I asked-
40%.
I agree, man. I asked you guys during the draft. I
He
said,
can't be your best player. Sorry.
no, go ahead.
He
Go
can't
ahead.
be your best player if he doesn't play. He's just an unavailable player then.
The best ability is
Availability.
Don't even talk about him right now. We're talking about the game
Okay,
yesterday. Okay.
your head coach just blew it for you. Your head coach elects to give a short field to your head coach. The head coach of your football team elects to give a third-string rookie quarterback 45 yards and his opening possession instead of pinning him
Right.
inside the 20.
I got you.
And how about maybe kicking the field goal 49 yards?
Yeah.
And he better, this Badgley guy, he better be hurt.
He's gotta be
better
hurt. He's gotta be
You go
hurt.
4th and 9.
The Lions
Come on.
last year. The Lions led the league in going for 4th
6-0
downs.
game.
They led fourth
They-
down
It
conversion.
ain't
beat
that
the
hard,
Chargers.
Dan.
Wait a minute. This year they did 47 last year. This year they're on pace for 68 attempts on 4th down.
Football season's over. It's only week 5.
No, it's not over.
It's over.
Well, it probably is.
Not in
but-
college
The Jets are my new team. Braylon's giving me the sweatshirt.
Go ahead, play the cut on golf
Here
so
it
people
is.
can understand.
Hold on, let Braylon get in here.
No, I was gonna say something real quick. The interesting thing about it is this. Sometimes we talk about they don't have enough players. Players are hurt. They're waiting to draft defensive players next year. They're waiting to get some defensive free agents next year, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. You know what? I'll even give them that pass. I'll give them that. But the pass that I won't give them is players have nothing to do with coaches maturing as a coach. As coaches getting better. He told us last year after the Ravens game he would do better. He told us last year after the Minnesota game he would do better. He told us last year after the Philly game he would do better. He told us after the Cincinnati Bengals game last year he would do better. He told us after the Minnesota Vikings game 2 weeks ago he would do better. He told us after the Seattle Seahawks game.
It's week in and week out. He's got to do better.
I'm tired of him saying he'll do better. Dan Campbell's an amazing individual, but I'm tired of him going to the podium, give us the same cliche things. Well,
The defense really only gave up 5 field goals, but they just couldn't get off the field on 3rd
But
down.
we're talking about
they cannot get off the field.
Hey, well, this poor defense, they gave up, 15, 20 yards on the first drive? And you're in field goal range already because you're going for it on 4th down.
You're putting them in a bad spot.
I don't know if I'm more mad at Dan Campbell or more upset at myself. And that's really what this anger comes down to. That's really what I'm feeling right now.
You just
So,
want to have a winning team.
Is it too much to ask? Is it too much to ask Dan Campbell on Dan? Let's play this on Jared
Play it.
Goff.
We just could never really get golf in a rhythm, and so we were doing things that we wanted to do in the run game. It was going very much like we kind of thought it would and hoped it would. We just, when it came time to throw it, we could never get him quite comfortable. Can't allow it. If you're going to run like that, then you better just tuck it and, or just have a little bit better feel of where it's coming from, But yeah, I mean, it's, tell you what, I've never seen anything like it. It's like we turn the ball over, we give up 7 when it happens, and so. But it certainly hurts us. So.
I asked you guys last year when he cried after the Philadelphia Eagles loss. I asked you guys, is this position as the head coach of the Detroit Lions, which is a franchise that's been struggling for 70 years, is it too much? Is it overwhelming. As I'm watching that press conference, Maz and Ryan Ermanni,
It is.
I just see a guy that doesn't have the answers and does not know which way to go. Is it up? Is it down? Is it right? Is it left?
I'll tell you what this is. And this is a coach that is completely unfair to his quarterback right now. That soundbite was completely irresponsible and not that was horrific to Jared Goff. And you want to know why? Because Jared Goff feels like he's got to make every freaking play known to man because you as a head coach continue to put him in that situation.
Yeah.
So he's thinking he's got to make some freaking crazy Patrick Mahomes type play. If you use your kicker, maybe he doesn't have to feel like he's got to make every play. If your defense didn't suck, maybe the quarterback wouldn't feel like he's got to thread the needle or make every throw or play perfect football because he is not a Hall of Fame quarterback. But he's a very good quarterback, and he's a winning quarterback. And you're putting him in impossible situation after impossible situation.
Listen, Lion fans, listen, hear me out for a minute. Throw yesterday's game out. I'm a horse race guy. I play the horses. Sometimes a good horse has a bad race. Now, we know the Lions aren't a good horse, but they're a pretty decent horse, and they'll give you everything they got. Yesterday, Bill Belichick reamed him, okay? And Bill Belichick does that to a lot of guys. But he saw a coach, second-year coach, in Dan Campbell. He saw how the Lions were dominating on offense, and he showed you how to stop the offense and how to beat them. And Dan Campbell helped him along the way by going on 4th and 9, not kicking field goals when you need it. The defense can't get off the field on 3rd down. Throw that game out. It's a clunker. It doesn't help right now for us. It does not help us. You get the week off. God willing, you get DeAndre Swift back. That's got to help you. J-Mo's coming soon. Hang in there. You got Dallas. That's going to be a tough game. Let's see how hard they can play against them. Let's see how hard they can play against them. It is very hard. No doubt they might not score. You're right. Okay, but they got a week off. Throw yesterday's game out, please. Bill Belichick, mine effed Dan Campbell.